Today we are talking about the salaries of practical nurses in Finland. Practical nurses in Finland are actually called laihoitajia. So I think money is a very important reason why we all go to work. Of course, some people say that they love nursing so much and they love to care for people so much. But we cannot deny the fact that money plays a very vital role in our decision to go to work and to study something. So today, we are focusing on the salaries of practical nurses in Finland, and in the subsequent videos, I'm going to be talking about the salaries of registered nurses in Finland, which is called Sairaanhoitaja Palkka. So stay tuned. I'm sure you want to know everything about the salaries so that you can make a wise decision if it's good for you to study laihoitaja or not. And we are going to be as realistic as possible, and we are going to look at it in so many other dimensions. And of course, at the end of the video, I'm going to be telling you some other places where you can work to make more money as a practical nurse in Finland or a laihoitaja in Finland. So stay tuned, don't go anywhere, and please, if you are new in this channel, don't forget to subscribe and stay tuned with this family where we bring you all up-to-date information about studies, nursing in Finland, and work balance, life balance in Finland. So don't go anywhere, let's go into it. So guys, let's talk about the salary of practical nurses in Finland. Of course, I'm going to be talking about the registered nurses in Finland, their salaries as well in subsequent videos. But today, let's focus on the salaries of practical nurses in Finland. First of all, who are practical nurses? So practical nurses are in other parts of the world, like America, they are called licensed practical nursing. These are kind of they provide extra hands to the healthcare providers, or they are part of the healthcare providing team. Okay, so they work in collaboration with the registered nurses. There is also the avustajia, there is the terveydenhoitaja, who are called public registered nurses. They are also the doctors. So they are they work hand in hand to provide the best possible care to patients. So in realistic world, everybody is seen to be as equal as possible. In most working places, they are regarded as just as important and as even the doctor as well. So they are a very integral part of the working team, and we understand that in Finland we focus more on the team. We do a lot of team working, so practical nurses are seen as a very important part of the team, the nursing team, and they have, of course, they have some limitations when it comes to for example, medications, and those things, these are as a result of their level of education. Okay, so there are some things that practical nurses are not allowed to do, but they are the responsibilities are geared towards the registered nurses. And of course, it goes the same for us, for the registered nurses. There are some things that registered nurses you are not supposed to do, or there are decisions that you cannot make. You have to pass it on to the doctors, and there are some doctors that they cannot make some decisions, that they have to pass it on over to the specialized doctor. So that is a chain that it goes like that. So for example, when we talk about limitations of practical nursing, if you are thinking about practical nursing, one of the limitations you have when it comes to drug administration is that a practical nurse can never give IV therapy medications. Okay, so any medication that goes through intravenous, they cannot give those kind of medications. So those are the kind of limitations that when it comes to practical nurse, those are the small kind of things that you cannot do. There are also things like the N medication. When we talk of N medication, we talk of medications that has addictive effects, like call medication like targenic and all those kind of things. They have very high addictive things. So practical nurses are not allowed to give those medications. But of course, there are so many things that the practical nurses do just as the same as the registered nurses. So it just depends in the place where you are working and all those things. But hey, I'm not here to define what the practical nurses your job is, but I'm here to talk about the salary. You want to know how much is the salary of a practical nurse. Basically, the truth is that it depends on the place where you're working. Okay, so there is a slight difference when it comes to the basic salary of practical nurses, and depending on the place you're working. For example, what I noticed is that in in home care settings, for example, which is called kote hoito, they pay slightly more than in a setting where like an elderly care home, because I kind of noticed that in a elderly care home, for example, in some sort of Pavel Talo or something like that, you are paid 2,378 euros per month. That is your basic salary, okay? And why for nurses, practical nurses who are working in home care, they are paid a minimum of 2,511 euros monthly. So that is the basic salary of practical nurse. But of course, these salaries, according to research, it shows that annual an average practical nurse makes about 3,200 euros a month. So I kind of understand that it comes with the extra benefits that that you have. For example, we know that working in Finland, if you work on Sundays, you have 100% extra for working on Sunday. So if you're working on Sunday, you have double the money that you're supposed to have, which means that if you are supposed to earn about 120 euros on a normal basis, but you working on Sunday, you get twice of that, so that's 240 euros. So that adds to your salary. And then the next thing is like you have Saturday increments. Some places they pay 15%, some places they pay 20%. Depends on your company where you're working. Also, if you work in the evening, so if you're doing more of evening shift, you get extra bonus of 15% from 6 p.m. till 10 p.m. So those small things, they kind of add to the amount of money you make as a practical nurse. Of course, the other thing that you can make more money as a practical nurse is working at during the night or at night. So we understand that working doing a lot of night shift and all those things in Finland, working at night, so night is counted from 10 p.m. So from 10 p.m. you get 40% increase in your salary, which means that if you are earning, let's say the average, for example, I just said earlier that the practical nurse's salary in home care is 2,500 euros. That means maybe an hour could be like 14 euros or 15 euros thereabout. And so if you take 15 euros times 40% of 15 euros, it gives you a certain sum, and you add that to that money, and then you see the increase in your salary. So these are just the basics. I'm not going to talk like, it depends on how you work, the structure. Some people like to do more of morning shift, more of evening shift, and more of night shift. So it depends on you. One thing that being a practical nurse is so nice is because of the flexibility. You working as a practical nurse, you have a lot of flexibilities. For example, you can do morning shift, you can do afternoon, and if you want, you can get some extra job and work somewhere in the night. And of course, working during the weekends is plays a very important part in your paycheck, So these are the salaries that you should realistically be thinking about. So 2,500 or something like that. But like I said earlier, the extra bonuses that comes with it, if you work extra shift, if you work night shift, and all those things. And of course, in Finland we have what is called the working hours act. So it kind of makes it more interesting if you do over more shifts, which means that if you work, let's say in 3 weeks you are supposed to do 114 hours, and if you do more than that, then the money kind of goes really up, because you have done more than what the law says, and your employer has to compensate you financially for those inconveniences. So these are some of the things that I thought I should share with you. Of course, I promise that towards the end of the video, I'm going to tell you some tips. First of all, I did my research, and I found out that this summer you can make so much money working through a company called Seure. I noticed that the basic salaries of practical nurses, or called laihoitaja, is 2,871 euros, 2,827 euros to 3,100 euros in a month. Guys, you should use these opportunities. We are here to make money. If you see something like this working through Seure, and you still work and make the same money, like you work and make more money, because if you look at the difference between like working some sort of, I don't know, any other company, you are making maybe 2,500 or 2,300, and looking at the difference of 2,800 to 3,100 euros, that's a huge difference. So you should think of those. And of course, what they are doing, what Sarah is doing, is that they are offering 300 to 1,300 bonus if you work with them during this summer 2024. So you guys, you should take this opportunity. I'm just passing out some useful information which I think will help someone. So the strings are this. First of all, working with Sarah, you know that you don't have any holidays, so they pay all your money at once, so you shouldn't think of having some holidays. Secondly, I'm not sure you have paid sick leave, so this now leads me nicely to the next company I found that I think they are so good that you should be thinking about, especially if you're living around Helsinki area. This company is called Helsinki Kaupunki. Why am I telling you to apply or to try and get a job there? First of all, the salary starts with the 2,500 euros. They have lunch discount. They have 200 euros which they give you as you can use it to in sort of cultural and sports discount. You can use it to pay your gym if you somebody that likes to go to gym. If you like to go to cinema, you can use it for your cinema stuffs, and you can actually download what is called e-passy and you use this money there. So these are huge discounts that you can get, or these are huge benefits that you can get working with Helsinki Kaupunki. The other thing is that you have access to Helsinki Kaupunki city bikes. Like during the summer, they have those bikes that are kept around the streets and you pay money to ride those bikes. But if you're working with Helsinki Kaupunki, you use their cards and use the bikes for free. And of course, they have something which is called Henkilöstökassa. I think I'm going to talk about this in some other videos. Henkilöstökassa is just a bank, or rather it's a credit union. If you are planning to buy a house in Finland, that is the best place where you can get the lowest or the cheapest cheapest or the lowest interest, let's say, let's put it like that, the lowest interest and interest rate, and you get a good sum of money if you are working with Kaupunki. And of course, I'm not advertising Helsinki City. The things that I wanted to just talk about in this video. So guys, in the next video, I'm going to be talking about the salary of registered nurses. Registered nursing schooling or studies takes about 3.5 years, and you want to know how much is the salary. Is it worth you going to school study for 3.5 years? I will be giving you my honest opinion, what I think. Is it good or bad? I don't know. I will tell you in the next video. But also, just to round up, like practical nursing education takes about 2.5 to 3 years, depending on the school, of course, and also depending on your pace, so depending on the individual. So that's the salary. The one important thing that you should note is that the job opportunities are there. There are so many jobs listed everywhere for practical nursing. So if you are a practical nurse, bravo, and go out there and make some huge money. So we have finally come to the end of this video. If you enjoyed it, please leave a thumbs up, and of course leave some comments. Is there something I said that was not correct? You can also correct me there. Or is there that was not correct? You can also correct me there. Or is there anything that you want to say? You can just leave it in the comment section. And of course, if you are new in this channel, please remember to like, subscribe, and thumbs up, and we'll see you in the next video. Ciao.